Hello, sexy souls. We are going to get back to doing our elemental readings now. So I am so glad that you are joining with me and that you've been patient with me and the process and what has been going on in my personal life. Thank you so much for everybody that always wants to tune into my lives. If you so choose to ever do so, just know that we are switching that up a little bit now, where I'm going to do it more randomly. When I go live, I do regular readings for those who are not aware. And I do full-on readings. So however long Spirit asks me to go. And sometimes it can be a while. So I like to switch it up. And instead of doing first come, first serve, because that fills up very fast now, I am going to do it by like random pickings. The way that I've described it is pick a number 1 through 60. And whoever gets the closest or whoever gets the number, they get 10 seconds to respond. That's who gets the reading in the moment. So just little random things like that. So it's super unbiased, that I'm not picking and choosing based on questions or like your little YouTube name or anything else like that. So when I do go live on YouTube, I'll be going live on Instagram as well. Anybody who wants to check it out. Alrighty then. So let's get started. This is readings for the fire element. Alrighty. We're going to start with Starman Tarot. Everybody's doing well. These are timeless readings, just so that you're aware. So whenever it resonates for you or with you, it's for you at that time. I have wee little hands. We don't make fun of me the way that I shuffle, okay? Okay. Whoa. Okay, we're gonna save that. Okay, we're gonna save that. We're gonna start here. Okay, so as you all know, whenever I pull these, I don't necessarily do a spread. I just keep going until they tell me to stop. This is a little secret. I understand why they're doing this. The overall energy is the High Priestess, because we got an even number on each side. This is kind of how I do it. It's my little shtick, okay? So if we have an even number of cards on each side, this becomes the overall main energy that everything else kind of feeds into. High Priestess, this is a little bit like what's meant to unfold that you may or may not be able to see, but that you intuitively know. So it's almost as if you have had a feeling or a pull, a niggle, whatever you want to call it, towards something. And you don't, I mean, if somebody were to fucking ask you like, okay, so, well, what's your plan? And how do you know this is going to work? And bitch, I don't know. I don't know. Okay. In fact, I'm winging this shit because it's my own path. It's never been done before. All right. And so it's one of those things where it's like the logical side of whoever you're talking to or mention this to, or maybe certain people in your environment, or even your own ego, I'm going to be honest with you, is going to, okay, well, tell me how this is going to work and how do you know this is going to pan out? And, it's going to give you the pros and cons list within your mind and everything. And so what you're about to do or what you are pursuing, because we're talking about fire element here, this is about action, motivation, drive, your desires. Okay, so whatever you're going after doesn't necessarily fit the societal mold, is what we're going to say. And so it doesn't follow a whole lot of logic, and you're following your gut, but it feels like it's just meant. It's what you're meant to do. But also with the High Priestess, I don't think that you're really, even though there's this discussion, this metaphorical or theoretical, or fuck me with this shit, this fake discussion in your damn head or whatever, this so-called, you're being quiet about it because of that. Okay. And whenever led up to this, okay, so I get it. Here we have the Ace of Swords. This is all about a complete new path, new trajectory, wiping the slate clean, also knowing your truth. Once you come into that understanding of knowing your truth, you then have to make a decision, okay? Are you going to follow your truth? Two of Swords right here. Hope that you can see this very well. Are you going to follow your truth? Or are you going to follow someone else's truth, society's truth, your parents' truth, your family's truth, your significant other's truth, like whatever people are trying to tell you? And what I feel like is this is maybe something you've encountered up to a certain point, and so now you're kind of moving in silence. It really does feel like, as much as possible, you're not necessarily saying anything. I mean, because you know how people are going to process it, and you don't want that deterrence. So you've gone through this process of, you know what your truth is, and you literally have had to make a decision to fucking follow that. Okay? With the Two of Swords. Over here, Spirit's asking you now to actually focus on this, to really buckle down and do this work. This is the Eight of Pentacles, okay? Seven of Pentacles, I'm gonna throw shit out there, see what sticks to the wall, what grows, that kind of stuff, right? I'm gonna plant some seeds. You don't really do a lot after you plant the seed until you see what's going to sprout, right? Sure as hell don't want to be tending to something that ain't going to come up and produce anything. And so you kind of sit back and wait. This feels like it's starting. And they're like, okay, you're acting from your truth. You're completely choosing a new path. You've made the decision to follow this truth. And it's not necessarily one that's, again, it's almost as if maybe not a lot of people would agree with it or understand it. And you can't really necessarily back it up with anything in the 3D as to why you want to follow this. It just feels, it's your truth. That's why. See, the thing is, when you go after what it is that you want and desire, and what feels right to you, it doesn't always match up with your environment, the people that you've hung out with, or with society standards, all that kind of stuff. And so that's the reason why you got the High Priestess. It feels like you're just going with the flow with this. And you're picking and choosing, honestly, like the High Priestess does, when to reveal something and when not to. Okay. But they're saying that you need to really focus on this. Eight of Pentacles is all about, okay, I know exactly what's sprouting up, and I know where to direct my energy and my focus, fire element again. And so they're asking you to actually put forth the actions. Okay. So you can really hone it in. On the Eight of Pentacles, there's a lot of different things that they've done in their life, a lot of different pentacles, but there's one specifically that they're really working on. Okay. It's funny because it's as if, we've talked about this before. You kind of know what feels right to you, but you may not have known how to express it. You made the fucking decision. You chose which way to do this, how to operate. And so now you're really focusing on it, even though there is this apparent sense of lack. Either this is kind of something that you're starting off with, and it's like it's taking everything you've got to get it going. Or you're kind of in a place of you don't really have a lot to your name. This feels very career, project, life trajectory, new phase. All right. And the lack mentality, or the lack of the Five of Pentacles, it feels both environmental, like I'm doing this, so that's the reason why. Everybody would say, are you sure why? This doesn't make any sense. You need to really stick with the typical outline of what you do to bring money in and to have stability and everything, because this is risque. Fucking living anymore in a pandemic is risky, apparently, okay? So what? This is also about, it feels as though it's like a feel the fear and do it anyways, right? Because this lack mentality is almost feeling as if, and I tell people, I've had people ask, what does lack mentality mean? It means that you are buying into, there is some type of belief system or understanding that somehow something outside of you is limiting you, when in reality, the only thing that can necessarily limit you is yourself. Okay. And so it's the buy-in that you are limited in some capacity, that you aren't able to create something, you aren't able to action something, you aren't able to follow through with something. Because generally with the Five of Pentacles, let's go with the traditional tarot here, we got a leper walking in front of a church. I don't have any access to this. I don't have any help. I don't have a roof over my head. That's not true. It's your choice to believe, right, that you don't have the help and the assistance or the resources. And so you're doing something. So it feels like a keen awareness that generally in anybody's life, this is not would be the path at this moment in time that they would choose to do. Just given the circumstances, just saying. And that maybe there's a little bit of you that feels like, I don't know if I can do this. I actually don't have the resources to do this, but fuck it, I'm going anyways. Okay? Doing it anyways. All right. And so, onto this. When you do this, and this is a little bit of a come hell or high water, you have solidly bought into this, right? So intuitively, you know this is something that you want. This is also something that you feel well within your power, but you have solidly made a decision. You are focusing, irregardless of what something might appear to be, irregardless of what your circumstances might appear to be. You're focusing on this and you're going for it, okay? It's a come hell or high water. And Spirit says you will be rewarded for that. We have the Prince of Wands here, which is very fast moving energy. Again, some people think, and look at the Prince of Wands, ooh, something shiny going over here. Ooh, I'm going to go after this. Like almost like an impulse. Like they don't really think things through. And can that happen? Yeah, when it's negatively aspected, but when it's with the World card, no, that's not negatively aspected then. This is somebody who is no longer sitting on the fence, who has decided they're going to action something and they're not delaying it anymore. They're going for it and taking that leap of faith. And that there is actually going to be some beautiful outcome from this that's going to happen fast. Two of the fastest cards in the tarot deck are the Eight of Wands and the Prince of Wands, which is the Knight of Wands, in case I need to clarify. The Knight of Wands is extremely fast. In fact, I take it as those two cards being a hell of a lot faster than anything in the major arcana. Since when does a minor arcana trump a major? I'm just saying. Chariot is not the fastest moving energy. It is a rhino spirit. It is charging forward because both the two horses, the different aspects of yourself are in alignment. And so therefore nothing's going to stop you now. But that doesn't mean that it's fast. This is a fast turnaround. Like once you buckle down and stop playing in this lack energy of, you're like, I don't care. I mean, sure, it doesn't seem logical, but I'm going for it. Everything turns around. It's as if this lack, the things that are outside of you that make you believe that you don't have, the lack of resources, the lack of money, opportunity, whatever it is, it changes real fast. The World card's all about the ending of the cycles, and it's all about beginning something new and brand new fucking phase and things coming in. Everything that you've wanted. It comes all around. It comes to you quickly. Okay? We're going to pull just a couple more cards. Yeah. You're right. Golden Universal really quick. Let's see. We're doing good. We got a little bit of time. So kudos to you. And I got to tell you, moving in silence probably is your best bet to help refrain from receiving any of those negative energies and comments and things that will plague on your mind space. It's a good way to keep your vibration clean of anybody else's energy. Bitch, come on now. 6 of Wands. It might have been rough getting to this point. Really feeling so solid in your truth that you're like, I'm doing this, I don't care what. Being very determined with your decision and going after that despite realizing, sometimes the other truth that you're looking at is just as legitimate. You don't have money, you can't keep a roof over your head. Like if this doesn't work out, you know what I mean? Like you have responsibilities, we live in a fucking tangible world. I get it, but you are so solid. So 6 of Wands, this is a battle-worn soldier, okay? We come from the 5 of Wands, which is the chaos, the struggle, it's almost like the friction to be able to get something done. You know, are you dying? Not necessarily. Was it fucking easy? No. No. Okay? And I'm sure at some point there was contemplation of just bailing, but you didn't. And because of that, you have success. Ace of Pentacles. This is no longer, again, I just told you, this is no longer living in that lack. It will begin to manifest within your world. So the success isn't just something that's felt internally. It's not even just something that, slight recognition. This is major recognition right here. Okay. 6 of Wands is always about like major recognition. Oh my God. And then this also means that that everything it's as within, so without, everything begins to be reflected in your outer world. So this is kind of a little bit like that 3 of Wands type of energy, where Ace of Wands is, I have a desire, I have a motivation, I really want to go after something, I have a goal. 2 of Wands is, I choose how to take that action, the best action or best course of action. 3 is, I wait to receive feedback from the universe to see if this is the right action to take, or if I need to do any tweaking or anything else like that, right? And so that's what this feels like. This feels like you've gone out there, you put your all into it, despite it looking like it's not going to produce anything, or the world, like family, people around you, even your own logic saying this is probably not the most feasible way to be operating, and you're sitting here, everything comes back to you. This does feel financial. This does feel, it's a very abundant, as in freedom is what it feels like. This feels like freedom to move around and maneuver, a foundation to be able to build. Like, this is a whole brand new path, and you're going on it. You have the Ace of Swords and the Ace of Pentacles with the wheel. It's changing. When you buckle down, regardless of what it looks like, or not, not even having anything to really start something with, and you just focus like it's not even funny, like a belief system that I am so solid, feels so damn solid, and knowing this is King of Wands energy, okay? He doesn't pour his energy, time, or investment into anything that's not worth it, worth it, right? Even though we have the Knight of Wands over here, that's more just in respect to like not sitting on the fence, right? Shit or get off the pot. Are we doing this or not? This is, I made a solid decision and I'm in. Boom. And there's literally no other looking back. No contemplating other options. No going to this. You already did that. You already did that with the 2 of Swords. All right? No. This speaks too loudly. And can you see every step of the way in front of you? No. But your intuition will show you one step at a time. Okay? You're focusing heavily. And even though at this point, if someone were to take a snapshot, it doesn't look like you're getting a lot, that shit's about to fucking change. With that, I'm going to do an extended, and we're going to take a look to see if there's any advice from Spirit as to what you can do, what you should be looking out for, or once the success begins, okay, so now what? How do I keep this trajectory? Okay? All right. I hope this was beneficial. Be sure to check out the other elements as well. And I will be posting this bi-weekly now, guys. Bi-weekly. All right. Love you all. Have blah, 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 blah. I'm so glad that y'all love me anyways.